Alrighty. Shalom, everybody. As mentioned, an honor and a pleasure to be with you today to experience what I hope to be a wonderful, anchoring, and deeply healing experience. I believe whatever blockage or challenge you came in with today, you'll experience at the very least a deep shift if you're open to it. I think we're going to learn some beautiful wisdom as a precursor to our journey together. Reason being that the wisdom itself inspires and gives context to the experience, simply put. And since we're speaking about healing, let's maybe clarify what that means, at least in a psychological context, a Kabbalistic context. We either exist in two general states of consciousness. There are many names for these states, especially in Kabbalah, but for the sake of the journey together today, let's speak about it as Tohu and Tikkun. Tohu means chaos. Chaos, by definition, is unstructured potential. If you have chaos in your life, it is by definition a vessel, a container, a launching pad into deep healing and alignment, which by definition is tikkun. Tikkun is the fixed, corrected, aligned state of being. Our last webinar was on the topic of tikkun, and to shift into the tikkun is the work of our lives, ultimately. So let's do a little bit of review in case it's relevant for us today. Some teachers of Kabbalah speak about tikkun as some kind of karmic debt, that I come into the world with baggage from a past life, and I am now blemished and I'm lacking and I'm here to fix. There is a relative truth to that, but without a most important additional understanding, a caveat, we might live our whole lives victimized by a mindset and that we came into the world already broken. The truth is, you are unconditionally valuable, perfectly good, and eternal. And your intrinsic connection and purpose is right here, right now, based on the fact that wherever you are is exactly where the Creator has put you in this moment, and therefore where you're supposed to be. We all might have some relative visions of the future, myself included, and they can be grand, but who knows? Man plans, God laughs after all. But this is the ultimate definition of the soul, primarily shared in the introduction to the Zohar, section 5 by the Baal HaSulam, and that we are celestial beings of infinite grandeur. Our importance is to no measure because we are akin to a rock chipped off the mountain, so to speak. He brings it as a metaphor to say that the Creator is akin to a mountain, so to speak, right? Because the Creator has no imagery. There is no true conception, is beyond all. We're talking about the Creator has created even the concept of infinity. So we don't actually speak about the Creator's essence in Kabbalah, but we do connect to the expressions of the infinite in our lives tangibly as we experience it through our positive emotions, our relationships, and so forth. So he says there, if we identify with anything other than that perfection, then in a sense, we're projecting that lack upon the Creator. But he clarifies it cannot be that a perfect craftsman would create or can create an imperfect craft. So when we see the lackings in ourselves and actually identify with it, then we're actually projecting that lack upon our source. Hence, we are not, we're above that. And that the same way we say that the Creator is unconditionally valuable, perfectly good and eternal, so too are we. There's a similarity of form, there's a quality of character at the deepest level. So if we come into the world perfect, then all of our blockage and challenge is only coming as a superficial covering, a husk, a shell, a klipa, so to speak. A klipa is the shell or the peel of a fruit. But that's not the fruit itself. But we all know that the juice, the sweetness, the goodness, the nutrients, the meat of the fruit is the internality, not the externality, not the superficiality. And so this blockage actually comes as an unstructured potential, as a tohu, that we are here to reveal an even deeper perfection. And that the model is you're perfect and you're here to reveal your perfection and even add on to your perfection. Now, here's the idea. When we consider the universe, which is infinitely expanding, we are clarified with this concept in Kabbalah that there's a law of correspondence, as above, so below, as within, so without, as many of us have heard. If this is the case, then everything in our physical reality has some type of mirror in the spiritual worlds and higher consciousness. And therefore, the physical universe just in itself is a branch of a root. And it comes to describe to us the dynamic if the universe, let's say, in the theory, is infinitely expanding. So too in spirituality, the infinite is infinitely expanding. We say that spirituality is one. There's a oneness to the essence of all. We say, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. The Creator is one, all is one. Ein Mavado. There's nothing outside the jurisdiction of the one reality. And if this is the case, then you don't divide in spirituality. There's no actual splitting, but there is constantly a multiplication. So too, one of the first mitzvot, commandments, or opportunities for connection to the Torah was puravu, to be fruitful and multiply, and that the Creator has some desire seemingly to multiply that infinitude, that goodness into the world. And so this comes to confirm this notion that we can choose to believe and identify with ourselves according to our essence, and then build from there even more so. Kabbalah describes this as the adornment, the jewelry that the divine presence, this divine feminine, the Shekhinah, puts upon herself as she desires to earn the ultimate connection, as opposed to being born with the silver spoon. We're adorning ourselves. And so there is a truth to, there is some notion of karmic debt or baggage, so to speak, and that it's true, according to Kabbalah, we do reincarnate. But again, it's not that we're coming already with a lack. Rather, the challenges that come up in this lifetime that could be relevant to the past life is just an opportunity to reveal more of that light, more of that essence of the Creator in the world, revealing the glory and the goodness of all. So if you ask me personally, I think that the notion of that we are perfect and are becoming more perfect or revealing that perfection is much more beautiful and empowering than I come into the world broken, I'm already moving uphill and I have to fix myself somehow, some way. There's a truth to that, but again, we're clarifying here that nuance. The Kabbalists teach simply thinking these thoughts of your essence identity, your unconditional value, your pure goodness, your eternity, the intrinsic connection and purpose that you have right here, right now, heals your consciousness. Just thinking those thoughts, just affirming that to yourself. It allows you to interface this divine knowing into your pains. You can hopefully somehow, some way, just an iota at a time, another 1 degree shift in your experience, believe that everything is for the good and everything is from the oneness and the love of Source. Easier said than done. Not only are we supposed to bring it from that head into the heart experientially, which I hope to do with you today, but even a deeper level, the highest level is bringing it from the heart into the bones. The Kabbalists, the Hasidic masters say the emunah, the belief consciousness and the ultimate goodness needs to be in our limbs, in our bones, which I understand to be, it's so tangible, it's so integrated, it's so embodied that we feel it on all levels. There's some type of actual convergence. Indeed, all of the cells themselves are resonating with the goodness of God, which we are of, because we are kin, so to speak, to the chip off the mountain. So, since we're talking about healing here, let's reference that for a moment. Perhaps this might be review for some of you. But, sickness by definition requires healing. And sickness in Hebrew is holy. To be sick is a chole. It comes from the root of chol, which means the mundane, and it literally also translates to sand. Just as there are approximately 7.5 sextillion grains of sand in the world, sand alludes to separation, compartmentalization. It's a split, it's in pieces, endless pieces. So healing, in contrast, the refuah in Hebrew, refuah has the same root letters as the root letters of the sphira and word tiferet, which means beauty, harmony, and truth. We become sick in any dimension for misalignment, having extremes on one side or another, whereas healing is found in the middle, is found in the truth, is found in the harmony and balance of all things. Bringing things back into oneness and acknowledging the pains, the difficulty in any dimension, whether internally, whether it's business partners and the like, you name it. If it's all coming from the oneness, then just from my mindset alone, just from my consciousness, I can bring it into healing. Being able to extract the meaning, the purpose, the truth within our challenges allows for this healing. This is the energy, the quality of Tiferet, this beauty, this harmony. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. So let's clarify this idea of transformation with a story of Nahum ish Kamsa. It's one of my favorite parables. And it's so beautiful when you consider the inner dimension. Nahum was one of the greatest sages of ancient times during Roman rule. There were harsh decrees unleashed upon the Jews from the emperor. And so Nahum took the initiative, being one of the leaders of the Jewish people at the time, took initiative on behalf of the Jewish people to make peace with the emperor, prepared a box of jewels, gold, and other such riches. And upon his travels up to Rome from Israel, he stopped at an inn where his treasure box of goodies was switched out. It was replaced with sand and dirt, with valueless material without his knowing. Arriving to the emperor, he offered his gift, not knowing it's been replaced. And the emperor, seeing that it was this useless dirt and sand, claimed execution upon Nahum. And when he decreed execution upon him for seemingly blemishing his honor, he said so famously, Gam zu l'tova. This is also for the good. Execution, he says, all good. So, if all is coming from the one and only, then who am I to complain or say otherwise? Even as I say that, there's a piece of me that's like uncomfortable because it's such a high level of consciousness. It's so alien to us to consider such a possibility, but it is a possibility. It is something that we can develop one step at a time, something we can cultivate to shift from the tohu consciousness, the chaos, the unstructured potential, and be more in the tikkun throughout our days, throughout our lives. So, as the story continues, Eliyahu Hanavi, Elijah the prophet, seemingly a shapeshifter, dressing up as a royal guard, then told the emperor, as his royal guard, that this is very special sand and dirt. This is the same dirt and sand that Abraham used way back when. We know from the oral tradition that Abraham had this miraculous sand and dirt that he would use to be victorious over the warring kings. We just had this example in last week's Parsha in the Torah. In that, they would take the sand and dirt, throw them at the enemy, and they would magically and very accurately kill the enemy by transforming into arrows and javelins. Having been in the middle of a conquest, even conquests, I believe, the emperor, taking the advice of Elijah in the guise of a royal guard, agreed. He agreed to postpone the execution and furthering of the decrees against the Jewish people by testing the sand. He wanted to bring it onto the battlefield, only to miraculously discover that indeed the sand worked as it did in the past and resulted in miraculous victories. So the emperor then thanked Nahum, nullifying the decree of execution and the decrees against the Jews. The individual at the inn who switched out the jewels for the sand thought he'd go back to the same sand spot and get more, since this is that miraculous good, let me go back there and get more and sell it. Wow, how amazing. And he was killed in the process. Just kind of, what comes around goes around, so to speak. I think it's important to understand the story within our inner consciousness. Bala Sulam teaches that we can interpret all of Tanakh, all of the words of the sages within oneself. It's called Torah de Rishut HaYachid, the Torah of the personal domain. And that all that I am reading, all of the story seemingly is not just a story, it's actually a story about you. Literally you. Yes, you and me. And if you ask me, if someone was speaking about me on the street, I might be inclined to, put my ear over and hear what they're talking about. They're just talking about some story from 4,000 years ago, maybe not as interesting. And I think this kind of shares with us, or it illuminates the power of the inner dimension of the Torah, in that if it's speaking about us, speaking for myself, I find that very interesting. I'd like to discover more about myself in terms of inner consciousness. So, when we are given what seems to be sand and dirt in our lives, the chaos, this unstructured potential, the lowly matters in our lives that don't seem to be anything close to the ideal we prefer to be living in. If we only use our belief, right? Because they went out there, they went on a limb and believed, let me just throw this, let me at least try and see if it transforms into the arrows and the javelin. If we employ our belief, our emuna, our belief consciousness, are roughly translated as faith, and believe that even if it is sand, the Creator gave me the sand. Chances are, if you have your favorite guru or professional athlete or celebrity, you name it, if they gave you even this like lowly small thing, wow, how wonderful. If King Charles handed you a handkerchief, you might be like, at least I can sell on eBay for like 20,000. Like, this is great. So how much more so the King of all kings, who provides us anything and everything all the time. So if we can employ this emuna, this belief consciousness, easier said than done, but one step at a time, to believe that the sand itself is actually wondrously valuable by the fact that I'm focused on the giver of the gift, not the gift itself, that the Creator gave me the sand, so too, it must be good, Gamzu Latova, even if it's above my understanding. And so, just as Nahum said, Nahum coming from the language of nechama, of a calmness, of a rest. If we tap into that emuna consciousness, then we'll feel that nechama, that Nahum, that rest, that calm, that goodness of being connected to our source, as opposed to forgetting where everything is drawn from. So much of our inner work is really just remembering our goodness, remembering the goodness of all right here, right now. And we need others to remind us. We need mentors, we need a community, we need friends, whatever the case, but a prisoner cannot free themselves from prison, says the Talmud. We all need someone, something to assist us in the remembrance. And we all have different aspects and different dimensions of what our personal Egypt is and what our personal redemption would look like as well, myself included. The primary variable that will allow you to experience whatever it is that has been planned for you here, in the sense that, somehow, some way, this has been planned before space and time, and here you are. No expectations. We're simply here to learn, here to experiment, a practice mindset, a learning mindset. See what works for us. As I've heard from Rav Katz, one of the greatest blocks to having a spiritual experience is wanting to have a spiritual experience. You get the ego in the way, like, I want this, I need this. And many of you are probably there. I'm right there with you. But there is a way to reassess our intention. And that I don't just want the healing, I don't just want the shift because I want to diminish the pain. Though that's true, I can sit with that truth that I want to diminish the pain. Rather, I want to be empowered that I can believe that the pain is good. I can believe that the pain is coming from a higher source. Not that I'm justifying pain in its literal sense that, give me more, though there is a time and place to express that too in a radical way if one is scared of the pain. Point being is that if everything is coming from source, then it must be good. But we have to cultivate that experientially. So, having no expectations, but balancing it with a belief that you can indeed transform. To believe in belief itself. As Rabbi Nahum of Breslov teaches us, that our emuna, our belief, is a koach hamoshech. It's the strength, power, and potential of drawing a reality into being, the law of attraction in essence, but the caveat perhaps in, let's say, quote unquote, secular manifestation is that it empowers an individual to be akin to a god, and that I have my own power. There is a truth that we are to be partners in creation. But Kabbalah gives us a very humbling nuance that ultimately the Creator has keys for everything. And if He wills otherwise, it'll be otherwise. Doesn't matter how deeply or intentionally or intensely you visualize your future reality. If it is His will, so be it, it will be. But through believing in His goodness and believing, assuming it is His will that you want that to be manifest, that is how we become shutafim, partners in this creation process. And therefore acknowledging the one and only that provides the manifestation, so to speak, as opposed to thinking that we really have power in of ourselves. So the meditation, once we get there, is a long one. It's on average hour and a half. And if you don't make it all the way through, you can check out the recording in our private community, which if you haven't already, definitely sign up for the 7-day free trial, as the membership fee will be increasing in the near future. We have more meditations, courses, classes, coaching workbooks, a lively community of soul seekers looking to dive deeper into Kabbalah and self-development. That's our Alignment Academy. And after some months, we'll also publicize it in general for all. But at least in the short term, it'll be in this community. So emuna, faith, is better translated, as mentioned, as belief consciousness or the power and potential of belief. Emuna comes from the language of uman. Uman is a craftsman or an artist. It's no question to me, at least, that the Creator is the ultimate artist. And so too, our soul is like a rock chipped off the mountain, so to speak, as mentioned. Point being, we have the potential of creation and artistry as well. Hence, man is made in the image of the Creator. But let's clarify that. The verse is B'Tselem Elokim, in the image of Elokim. But what does it mean to be made in this image? There's a lot of names of God. And every name of God is connected to a different sphere on the tree of life, a different energy, a different expression of the infinite light. So why not a different name of God? Why not the famous four-letter name, the Havaya? Why not Shakai? Why not Hashem Tzivakot? There's so many different iterations of the infinite light. Why Elohim? We are taught that the first time a word is mentioned in the Torah alludes to its essence. And the first time Elohim is mentioned is right off the bat in the beginning of Bereshit in Genesis. Bereshit bara Elohim. In the beginning, God created. So it seems to be that the word Elohim is a creative force. So if we're made in the image of this Elohim, this quality of creation, that means we too have this creative force. But this force, this power, this potential assumes we have emunah. In case it wasn't clear before, but I just want to, anything worth learning is worth reviewing. To believe that you actually have any power in of yourself as an independent entity is saying, in essence, is expressing the energy of I am a God. But we are saying there is only one source of all happenings, as nothing is outside the Creator's jurisdiction. According to Kabbalah, Ein Ol Mavado, the Creator is one. So to any manifestation that we experience is understood to be by His hand and not our own. Can we tune into the frequency and channel and request to allow for the partnership? Surely. But even with the work we put in, we understand that the Creator has the keys at the end of the day. So much of our humanity is based in our ability to facilitate such meditations, prayers, to be partners in creation by opening up a redemptive process of freeing the sparks of light from their captivity. Meaning to say, nothing would exist if it didn't have a spark of light. We are taught quite in a quantum way that the Creator is literally renewing reality at every microsecond. So do the quantum physicists seem to teach that the matrix of all reality, this mind, this supernal high mind, is indeed projecting reality into being at every second. Seems to be pretty in line with the mystic tradition. Therefore, all of creation, without exception, from the inanimate to the plant, to the animal, to the speaking modalities of creation, all of this holds sparks of light, potentials. So if we have a challenge, if we have a blockage, if we have a doubt, a fear, you name it, anything that could be deemed a negative frequency, so to speak, a negative experience, by definition, that has a spark within it, but it's up to us to have the tools to dive in and extract it. So if I take that spark out of its prison, then technically speaking, I'm bringing it into redemption. If I take that spark out of its hostage place, I'm bringing the energy into the world of freeing hostages. I'm bringing the energy into the world of freedom. And so we might believe that this isn't, this redemptive work of even the base psychology of identifying with ourselves in our essence and maybe going in there and seeing the value and purpose within our difficulties. But indeed, it is arguably the fundamental, foundational, and most important work that we can do. Is there inner work beyond that? For sure. For sure. There's a lot of rungs in the spiritual ladder, but it starts with our mindset. It starts with our healthy psychology. So what does that look like in regards to being a human being? Man, humanity, is called an Adam. And Adam is from the language among others, of Adama, the ground, the soil, the earth. It is written explicitly in the Torah, Devarim 19:20, that man is like a tree of the field, as we mentioned earlier. We are the tree of life, and that we express these divine qualities of the infinite through our conscious, emotional, behavioral, and experiential faculties. That is one way to understand what it means to be made in the image of the Creator, and that the expression of the Creator that we can understand is through this tree of life, through the Sefirot, which is a study in of itself. For those who wish to dive deeper, we have a transformational group cohort, the Essence Identity Shift. It's a tree of life group cohort. We're starting at the next cohort this upcoming Sunday. We still have some seats available. We're going to be diving deep into each sphera, the parameters of mindset, psychology, spirituality, and getting into the experiential like we are doing today, the meditations to connect to the energies of each one as well. So today should be a taste of what's possible, and former cohort members have claimed shift after shift, breakthrough after breakthrough, in some cases experiencing the biggest breakthroughs of their lives. And there's only 2 days left to get on a call to see if it's a fit. So we'll be sending out information after the webinar is over. So back to Adam. Adam is from the Adama. And Adam was kicked out of Eden, meaning kicked out of this higher divine consciousness in order to eventually rise back up. In the meantime, he's got to work the ground. Before we get into what it means to work the ground, I want to just make a separate side note on this beautiful notion of being kicked out of Eden, or kicked out of the palace of the king. Same idea, since we're talking about our difficulties and finding the healing within it. When we feel the flow in life, when we feel the light, when things are going well, when things are synchronicitous, when business deals are coming our way, all feels well, all feels great. We're literally swimming in the treasures of the king within his palace. So what happens when we get kicked out? I kind of imagine it as like a Spartan kick, so to speak, like I'm just like falling down from heavens, like and just falling straight to the ground in order to work it. Now the question is, when we get Spartan kicks, so to speak, and land flat on the ground, what's the next step? We were here, up above, and we got kicked down over here. Most people say, and I said the same, we should climb back. We should get back into this bubble, back into the palace. And that's a beautiful thought, but it's incorrect. We need to grab a stick from the ground and simply draw for ourselves a new circle, a new palace, so to speak. Meaning to say, when we get kicked out, when we are suddenly dealt with the challenge and the fear and so forth, the truth is we're not being diminished, we're being expanded. We're perfect and we're here to reveal more perfection. Why would I want to go back to the palace? The palace was the condition I was in prior. I want to go back to my old level? Shouldn't we always be climbing to new higher levels? I want to be comfortable with what was as opposed to what will be. So then I accept, I have the mindset that in fact, this ground, me working blood, sweat, and tears to work the soil, this is the palace. I never leave the palace. His presence, his goodness is always here. So, back to Adam. Adam is kicked out of Eden. He works the garden. He works the ground. He works the field. As mentioned earlier, the field in the Zohar is the Sadeh. And the Sadeh is one of the many code words for the Shekhinah, the divine presence, the divine feminine, the global unified consciousness and soul of humanity. So to work the field is, in essence, to work the unified field, so to speak, through our prayer. And I certainly believe that meditation can be and should be, ideally, a form of prayer. At the very least, at the end of facilitations, it is known to be an eteratzon. It is an auspicious time. Because when we clear out the sparks from the darkness, they have wings, so to speak, and they're flying back to their source. So when you take advantage of that end point of a facilitation, having actually made some clearance, when you pray for anything and everything that you desire, assuming it's the Creator's will, you are attaching your prayers, so to speak, on the back of the wings of the sparks that you have released from their imprisonment. So it's a very important, auspicious time to take advantage of. At the end of our meditation, if you have even an extra 1 minute, let alone 5, 10 minutes, whatever it is, let your heart flow, request what you need. It would make most sense or any further an additional healing in regards to the particular blockage that you had coming into this session that you had intended to shine the waters upon anyway. So, working this field, work is avoda, and it says that tefillah, prayer, is the avoda shebalev. It's the work of the heart. And it's most conducive when matched with a higher state of consciousness. Meaning we're confident in our essence identity. We're at least affirming to ourselves, we're faking until we make it, that I am unconditionally valuable, perfectly good, eternal. Ideally, we recall these wondrous memories of our past, because the Kabbalists say you are where your thoughts are, says the Baal Shem Tov. And the impressions from those memories have something called reshimot. They're literally impressions of light, of divinity within the memory that I can call upon myself at any time and literally up my state of being, up my frequency, so to speak. And so when we want to do the work, when we want to do the clearance and the healing from a higher state of being, and that the Creator is right here, right now with us and wants us to do this work, wants us to do this healing, that's going to be most conducive. But often we like crash in a state of forgetfulness and a shortness of breath, a kotzer ruach, like the Israelites had in the time in Egypt. We're just fumbling and cycling again and again and again. I think if I was to survey, chances are a good chunk of us would be probably in a tohu, a negative state of being, of stress, concern, doubt, and fear, arguably at least 6 hours a day, some of us the majority of the day. We want to just bring it more into tikkun a little bit, one step, 1 degree at a time. Getting into a higher state of being, which is also called a dat elyon, a higher knowledge, a higher consciousness, we can look at any challenge or block and actually taste, engage the sweetness within it. And that's also what we hope to do in our facilitation. The heart in Kabbalah is often associated with the sphere of Bina. Chokhmah, wisdom, which is above Bina, is connected to the mind. These are general parameters, as many parameters in Kabbalah. Bina, the language of Bina, is coming from Havana. It means understanding. And the word Evan, which has a similar root, is a rock. This rock, this Evan, upon our hearts and minds, because we are taught Kabbalistically that Bina and Chokhmah are a parameter, essentially one, that they are unified. So whether it's our hearts, whether it's our minds, or whether it's the convergence of the two in alignment, the doubts, the fears, is akin to the rock being. When we are in a state of constricted consciousness and we are leaving towards the freedom, towards this expression of what it means to be in a greater calm and peace, self-expression, ability to be vulnerable, and so forth, the doubt that hits us on the way towards that elevation is mandatory at every level. Because the Torah is a model of consciousness. Meaning to say, when the Jewish people were leaving Egypt, were already starting the Geula, the redemption, the Exodus, their arch enemy hit them from the back. The nation of Amalek. Bamboozled, guerrilla warfare. And Amalek has the same numerical value as suffix of doubt. By definition, if you are hit with a doubt, it is a sign that you are going towards Eretz Yisrael. You're going towards a higher consciousness. You're going towards the next level in your inner work. I've listened to a fair amount of entrepreneur podcasts. I've heard about people exiting their companies in the billions. Same exact thing. At every level. It doesn't matter if they were a janitor in their olden days or exiting for $1 billion, they're still dealing with limiting beliefs at every level. But just relative, meaning it could be that it even increases. It could become even more difficult to deal with. But what do we do? What do we do to defeat this Amalek, defeat this doubt? It's written in the context of the battle against Amalek that Moses had his hands up. And when he had his hands up, they were winning the battle. When he was getting tired and his hands were down, they were losing the battle. So we have to understand this in our inner consciousness. Moses in the Zohar is called the Raya Mehemna, the faithful shepherd. He represents Emunah, this belief consciousness. He has many parameters, but this is one of them. And it actually says explicitly in the Torah, his hands were Emunah. Literally, his hands were faith. So if faith, if Emunah, if the belief in the goodness of the Creator and all that he does, and that everything is in his jurisdiction, is always done for the good. If that is above, meaning our hands are up, meaning it's a higher quality of importance as opposed to being lower in importance, like in the dust. If his hands are up, meaning our emunah is a priority and it's important in our lives to develop this faith, this belief consciousness, which isn't just blind, it's something tangible in the heart and eventually in the bones itself, it's something experiential. Then we're winning the battle against the doubt. If the hands are down and it's not so important to us, not going to be as conducive to victory. And you can apply this in any dimension of life. Talk about interpersonal relationship, talk about business. I personally coach CEOs and founders 101. Same thing through and through for everyone. We're talking about at the highest level to the lowest level, it is relatively the same inner work for us all. So Bina is Havana. It's an understanding. It is related to a rock. What does this mean? Sometimes our doubts manifest as a desire to know. I need to know. Why is this happening to me? How could this happen to me? What is going on? Only human. But let's call that the rock. It's up to us. Do we say that that rock is a stumbling rock or a stumbling block? Meaning, if I need to know, and I will not let go unless I know, and I receive that revelation, it's actually coming from a place of ego. Who said you need to know? Who said you can understand? Who said the mysterious ways of the Creator is something for you to understand? The ego hates that. I even feel like a distaste, a displeasure just saying that. There's something within me, there's an aspect of my consciousness that's like, no, I want to know. The ego needs to know. So is it going to be a stumbling block? Or is my need to understand going to be a stepping stone? The fact that I can become aware that I really need to understand this, but I choose to surrender. I choose to tap into faith and say, I don't know why. I'm not sure if I can, but it's for the good, and I'll defer to the goodness of the Creator. So then I'm actually using it as a launching pad. I'm using it to get to the next level up. I don't need to get caught in the echo chamber of needing to know. Easier said than done. I'm right there with you guys. Just saying, this is the model. So our prayers, our affirmations, our words, our speech, our inner work, Torah, mitzvot, and good deeds, whatever the case, can all draw lights upon this rock and erode it and elevate it to bring the waters and the lights from within it and let it all free. But all of these things, the prayers, the affirmations, the meditations, the words, the speech, can be understood to be rooted in the heart. So this is a 32 paths meditation. Meaning to say, the Sefer Yetzira teaches there's 32 paths of wisdom. Sometimes it's called the 32 paths of understanding. We learn that Chokhmah and Bina, wisdom and understanding, are in essence one. In any case, the 32 are 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet and the 10 sefirot on the tree of life. Put together, you have 32, understood to be the building blocks of reality, so to speak. 32 is the numerical value of Lev, of heart. So I've constructed this meditation in such a way that going through these paths in a conscious level, just choosing to believe that whatever we are imagining and doing is actually affecting us in such a way. And I can tell you whether it's people experiencing great inner calm and peace and diminishing and eradicating fears and doubts, or it's tangible, like let's say in money blockage, for my clients to have hundreds of thousands, literally more in deals or sales and the like from clearing up such matters. The point is that we are meant to dive in, we're meant to clear up the blockage, to take the sparks out of the light. And this is the heart. So what I want us to do before we step into the facilitation is, if you haven't already, and I know that I sent out the question, and this is recorded, of course, as mentioned, the recording will be available in our private community of Alignment Academy for some time, and we'll eventually put it out to the public in due time. What is your rock? What is that block? Maybe it's a conglomerate of things. Maybe there's some way to bring it together, this particular doubt, this fear, and it could even be physical. Because if you're in physical pain, if you feel diminished or debilitated in some type of way in terms of your health, certainly that is bringing up other matters in your mindset, a feeling of perhaps loneliness or inability, lack of putting out your potential, and so forth. So in any case, it always comes to the mind. The rock is the particular blockage that you would like, if you could feel like out of all the things in your life, this is the one thing that if I felt like intuitively, not necessarily from a rational place, but intuitively, if I could shine the waters of healing upon this thing, then other things would also naturally start coming into alignment, coming into play. If you haven't had clarity yet on what that is, if the creator hasn't already incepted into your mind during this webinar so far and what that could be, let's take a short break before we do our facilitation. It is a long one, so feel free to use the restroom, get yourself a drink if need be. I need it. I'd like to use the restroom and grab a drink and get ready for our journey together. I'll say for reference, and this is not an expectation in terms of the experience, some people, at least often from when I've provided this for clients, have claimed that there's a certain heaviness to the first time, because it's intense. Like, you're sitting with me for a while, you're going through a lot of visualization, and there could be a lot of quantum shifts, so to speak. There could be a lot of clearance. And whether you experience those shifts tangibly on the spot or it's after the fact, I'm confident you'll experience something. And if not, hopefully you can get access to the recording. It's often that the second time is much smoother. And from personally what I've heard from my one-on-one clients, the third time can sometimes be that awesome like launching pad for miracles. But again, no expectation, just what's possible. So let's just take a little bit extra. I'll be back, let's say 37. Take 7 minutes. Okay. See you soon. I even sat down for this, getting more comfortable, more relaxed. I have a very efficient meditative voice, thankfully. Though you might fall asleep. It is a lot of stuff that is synthesized. This meditation is definitely a conglomerate of many things. So ultimately, my unique expression, having gained a lot from my mentors and teachers, Rav Katz being one of them as far as the meditations are concerned as a foundation, I've added plenty to it. Absolutely. If anyone wants to turn off their videos, you're totally free to. I'm not going to be watching anyone. I mean, I just have I'm not in gallery mode. I just have a couple people on my screen. But I guess it'd be cool to, let me just get into gallery. Boom. Wow. Beautiful. Okay. If you aren't already, please get comfortable. Simply close your eyes and become aware of your breath. The Baal Shem Tov teaches, based on the verse, Kol Neshama Tahalel Kol. Every soul will praise the Creator. And he reads it as Kol Neshima Tahalel Kol. Every breath will praise Source. Just tuning into your breath, you can settle into a resonance of gratitude and thanks for every single breath. Not everyone can say that. The Bala Sulam teaches that when we give thanks, we expand our vessels, allowing ourselves to receive more light, as we will continue to do so in this facilitation. Relaxing yourself, feeling warm and relaxed, open to receive whatever is already meant for you. Let us transition into some box breathing. You can follow my lead as we'll be breathing in for 4, holding for 4, breathing out for 4, and holding for 4. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, in 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. You're doing great. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. And relax your breath again. Still being aware of the principle that you may give thanks for every breath. I'd like you to imagine a ball of light above your head. You may choose to believe that this ball of light, the light of your own soul, shining in its compassion, its glory, its goodness, feeling its warmth. And imagine a channel of light coming from this ball into the top of your head, the keter, the crown, open to receive any pleasantness, any tingling, any invigoration. And let us slowly begin to irrigate our system with this light, imagining it as if it's a water, slowly irrigating our being, flowing into and relaxing our forehead, the muscles around our eyes, cheeks, muscles around our mouth, relaxing our tongue, jawline, coming down through our neck, feeling warm and relaxed in our shoulders, down to our arms, biceps, our triceps, warm and relaxed in our elbows, our forearms, warm and relaxed in our wrists, coming through our palms and the back of our hands, flowing to the tips of our fingers, cycling back around, coming up through the wrists, the arm, elbow, coming up into our shoulder, feeling warm and relaxed and converging into our heart. And let's just take a moment to pause here in our heart. And imagine again the ball of light above your head, piercing directly into your heart. There is a verse in the Song of Songs by King Solomon. Kol dodi dofek, the voice of my beloved knocks. The word for knock in modern Hebrew also means pulse. The voice of our beloved, being the Creator, speaks to us in every single detail of our lives. How much more so with every heartbeat? You may choose to believe in this moment, with each heartbeat, the Creator is saying, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. As the Balatanya teaches us, when we simply focus our minds on the infinite and unconditional love the Creator has for us right here, right now, that itself can melt our blockage. We need only remember. So often we forget. And continue the irrigation down from your heart to your belly, feeling very warm and relaxed in your hips, down to your legs, thighs, and your hamstrings, warm and relaxed in your elbows. In your knees, in your shins and your calves, warm and relaxed in your ankles, and then shooting this light through the soles of your feet, grounding into the earth, making a symbolic connection between the heavens, being the soul above you, and the earth below you. As Kabbalah teaches that we are a symbolic expression of the heavens and the earth, soul and body, giving and receiving, tikkun and tohu, and so forth. Wonderful. You're all doing great. Just settle into a resonance of gratitude again for such an opportunity. We all have lives, some very busy. You can put it to the side for this meditation. You can put it all into a box. You can wait. No expectations here. We're just learning, just experimenting, open to receive whatever is already planned for us, enjoying the journey. Being in this relaxed, intuitive space, I'd like you to remember a most wonderful memory of love. Not necessarily from a rational place, rather an intuitive one, in the heart. Nothing that's triggering, rather a pure memory of love that you received, and maybe you gave it. And if you have it in your mind's eye, whatever it is, if it feels good, that's enough of a sign that that's the one the Creator has chosen in this moment. If something else comes up that's not necessarily a frequency of love, but feels good, that's fine too. We are taught that there are correspondences of the Sefirot in our senses. Sight is wisdom, chokhmah. Hearing is bina, understanding. Scent, the nose, is tiferet. And speech, the mouth, is malchut. So let us invite the senses from this memory. Whether you want to believe it's mirror neurons or you'd like to believe that you can literally program your nervous system with the light of source, up to you, whatever works for you. See the sights of this memory of love, the people, the details. The colors. Hear the sounds. Smell the smells. Taste the taste. Feel the touch, whatever's relevant in this memory. And play this memory again and again. As if on repeat in your mind's eye. Inviting the resonance of this love into your heart. The Kabbalists teach us when we focus our minds and our hearts on any one divine faculty, we're literally swimming our consciousness in that universe. In this case, the universe of love. Enjoy. You may choose to believe that this memory of love was finely tuned and handcrafted just for you, beyond space and time. A gift, not just in the past, but something you can call upon your consciousness at any point, like right here, right now. If in the future you feel a trigger, you can choose to deflect it and tap into one of these wonderful memories. It's little shifts like this that literally transform our lives. And settle into a gratitude for this memory. And let us continue. I'd like you to remember the most wonderful memory of awe, something truly awe-inspiring. Perhaps it was a miracle from above. Perhaps it was a natural matter like a mountain or an ocean before you. Anything that is awe-inspiring, a sense of divine respect and honor. And invite the senses into this memory as well. And whatever comes up memory-wise, that's good too. See the sights, the colors, the people, the details. Hear the sounds, smell the smells, taste the taste, feel the touch, whatever is relevant in this memory. Inviting the light of awe on your heart. Playing it on repeat again, again, and again. And you may choose to believe in this moment that this memory was finely tuned and handcrafted just for you, beyond space and time. Not just a gift of the past, but a reality right here, right now. Inviting and being thankful for the resonance in your heart. As we continue, you're all doing great. I'd like you to remember the most wonderful memory of compassion. Perhaps you received it, maybe you gave it. Nothing necessarily triggering, something pure from the heart, not necessarily a rational place. And if it feels good, then that's the one, whatever it is. And invite the senses, energetic portals for the sphere as well. See the sights, colors, the people, the details. Hear the sounds, smell the smells, taste the taste, feel the touch, whatever is relevant in this memory. Play it again and again. inviting the lights of compassion upon your heart. You may choose to believe that this memory, like the others, was finely tuned and handcrafted just for you, above space and time. And settle into gratitude for this memory too, as it's been a gift given to you. Let us entangle these memories. As we were taught that reality is fractal, there's 10 sphera within every sphera. Each light can be found in the others. And so sometimes tapping into these unique feeling tones and flavors can give us new insights. Who knows, maybe even new neural pathways. I'd like you to choose to believe that you can feel the awe and compassion inside the love. Feel the love and compassion inside the awe. Feel the love and awe inside the compassion. The compassion and love inside the awe. Compassion and awe inside the love. You may choose to believe in this moment that even though each of these are unique experiences, in truth, there is only one light of the infinite. Each one of these memories are simply different garments of the one and only thing, the infinite light of Source, the Or Ein Sof. Every memory has been the exact same loving kindness from Source, simply in a different garment, different clothing. And so too is the truth for all of our challenges and blocks. Without exception, even all of our doubts and fears are also coming from the light of the infinite. We need only to dive in and extract the spark from within. A wonderful blessing to be together here in a group. Simply choose to believe on the count of 3 that we are all connected. Simple as that, employing your emunah. 1, 2, 3. We all create an integral system as the deepest level. We're all one soul. By definition, everyone else's lights have something you don't, and you have something everyone else does not. We're all here to complete each other. Just open yourself up to receive any energy, any light, any insight from the individuals in this group, and be open to share your power, your essence, your leadership in any way with others. Receiving theirs, giving yours. Receiving theirs and giving yours. Receiving theirs and giving yours. You can choose to believe simply on the count of 3 to turn up the volume on the light. Just choose to believe that you can be given more. We spend so much of our day not in the light. The Creator is yearning and ready to bestow it upon us. Simply choose to believe you can turn up the volume and double or even triple your light. 1, 2, 3. And do so again. 1, 2, 3. Feeling another invigoration as simple as that. 1, 2, 3. Let's also set an intention. Even though we have no expectation here, we're just learning, just experimenting. That any shifts and healing that comes upon us will also be bestowed on everyone else here and the world at large. There's a reason that in ritual, Jewish prayer and meditative context that such trauma healing is actually done in groups in a community, quorums of individuals. I'd like you to imagine yourself in the Garden of Eden. Imagine the most lush, beautiful meadow, forest, garden scenery that you've ever seen in your life. And just choose to believe that it's infinitely more beautiful here. As if every molecule or quantum string inside of this Garden of Eden is in itself a universe of light, shining in the highest definition. And simply sit in this garden, grounding yourself into the earth. The Zohar teaches that the Garden of Eden is actually 2 levels. The garden is the Malchut, the divine feminine presence. So just choose to believe that the pleasantness, the Creator's presence, is right here, right now, with all of us. And we can also shine that to the world. Just simply choose to believe it as such. And the Eden portion of Gan Eden is Chokhmah, higher wisdom, our ability to see, perceive, and believe in ourselves and the world at large according to its intrinsic goodness and light, knowing that everything is from Source. And the energy of Bina, the heart that we learned about, is said to be the river within this Garden of Eden. Let us begin to irrigate our hearts with this wondrous water. Before we do that, dive into your heart. See it shining, but now invite, as you sit here, and all of this light and resonance you built up, now you can invite the darkness because you're anchored in your goodness. Invite your stone your rock, your blockage, whatever it is. You can put it into your mind's eye. Better yet, imagine it as your heart itself. It's written that the Creator hardened the heart of the Pharaoh representing our exiled consciousness, our ego. It's a stony heart. We want to speak to it, shine the lights upon it. It was said that Moses was supposed to speak to the rock, but he hid it. Often, when we forget our goodness, and get lost in the ego, we try to force realities and hit the rock. We need only to flow and to speak to it. See this rock on your heart and invite all the implications. See the pains, the fears. Imagine what it's cost you spiritually, emotionally, financially. That has many implications of how far it's bled into different areas of your life. Allow yourself to feel the pain because it is the vessel for the light. Just know you're in a safe space with the essence of the Creator's presence right here, right now. We're in this together. Seeing this stone, this rock, this blockage upon your heart, or being your heart itself, let us begin the irrigation process. First, simply tap back into a higher being and recall the memories that you did before. Love, awe, and compassion. And shine that upon the rock as we begin these 32 paths. Pro tip according to the Arizal, if at any point you feel releases or tears, feel free to wipe them on your forehead. That is our primary name, the Creator. Choose to believe that the lights of the letter Aleph, if you can imagine the letters, wonderful. If not, simply choose to believe that it is as such. The light of the letter Aleph coming into the waters of Bina, through your head, converging into your heart, shining upon your rock. The letter of Emunah, belief consciousness. Ask your rock, ask this blockage, ask this pain. How have you come here to help me build my emunah, my faith? How have you come to help me believe in others? How have you come to help me believe in the goodness of the one above? and give thanks to the Aleph, give thanks to the Creator, and choose to believe that the light of the letter Bet is coming in to the shining river of Eden through your head into your heart. The letter, the word bracha, blessing. Rak, how have you come to bring me blessing? How have you come to help me bless others? How have you come to help me acknowledge the source of all blessing above? And that everything behind the veil is indeed a blessing. Giving thanks to the Bet, and truth giving thanks to the Creator. Choosing to believe the light of the letter Gimel is coming into the waters of Bina, into your head and into your heart. The letter of Geula, redemption. Rock, how have you come to bring me to redemption? How have you come to help me guide others into their redemption? How have you come to help me acknowledge the source of all redemption comes from the one above? Thank the Gimel, thank the Creator, and choose to believe the light of the letter Dalet is coming in to the river of Bina through your head and into your heart. Letter of Dibor, rock. How have you come to help me express myself in speech? How have you come to help me help others speak their truths? How have you come to help me hear the ongoing voice and speech of the one and only? Giving thanks to the Creator for this Dalet, this Dibur, this speech, and choosing to believe the light of the letter Hey is coming into your head, down into your heart. Letter of Havaya, existence, being. Rock, how have you come to help me be present? How have you come to help me reveal others' presence and step into their being? How have you come to help me acknowledge the all encompassing existence and being of the one and only, even in the pain and suffering? Giving thanks to the Creator for this Hey, and choosing to believe the light of the letter Vav is coming through your head and into your heart. The letter of Vav. Vav means a hook or a connection. Rock, how have you come to help me connect with myself? How have you come to help me connect with others? How have you come to help me connect to the source of all connection, who is the only thing I'm really ever connecting to? Give thanks to the Creator for this Vav, choosing to believe that the light of the letter Zion is coming into your head, down into your heart, the light of Zchut, purity. Rock, how have you come to reveal my inner purity, perfection? How have you come to help me see the purity in others? How have you come to help reveal the all encompassing goodness and purity of Source? And give thanks to the Creator for the sign, this energy of purity. You guys are doing great. I'd like you to put a soft left fist over your heart and your right hand over the left, anchoring and sealing in the energy of these letters Well, it teaches that these first 7 letters in the alphabet are connected to the energy of love, chesed. Just anchor in again to the memory. Remind yourself of this memory of chesed. Tap into its feeling tone. And further anchor into these letters. Aleph, emuna, faith. Bet, bracha, blessing. Gimel, geula, redemption. Daled, dibur, speech. Hey, havaya, existence. Vav, vav, connection. Zion, zchut, purity. Choosing to believe that your ceiling is waters upon your rock. Knowing that you are releasing sparks of light from their imprisonment. A truly redemptive process. You may now relax your hands at your sides again. If you'd like, you may have your palms upward in order to receive, choosing to believe the light of the letter Chet is coming into your head, not into your heart. The letter of Chaim, life. Rock, how have you come to reveal the essence of life? How have you come to help me invigorate others to truly live their lives? How have you come to help me acknowledge the life of all lives? Giving thanks to the Creator, the life, letter Chet, choosing not to believe the light of the letter Tet is coming in through the rivers, through your head and into your heart. The letter for Tov, goodness. Rock, how have you come to reveal my perfect goodness? How have you come to help me see the goodness in others and help them reveal theirs? How have you come to help me acknowledge the source of all good, the Tova Metiv, the good who does good to the good and to the bad, the ultimate good, who only does good? And give thanks to the Creator for this Tet, for this goodness. And choose to believe the light, the letter Yud, is coming in through your head, down into your heart. the light and letter of Yichud, oneness. Rock, how have you come to reveal my oneness with everything? How have you come to help me help others connect to the oneness of all? How have you come to reveal the absolute oneness that is, was, and will be? Giving thanks to the Creator for the letter Yud, choosing to believe the light, the letter Chaf, is coming into your head, into your heart. The letter of Koach, strength. Rock, how have you come to empower me? How have you come to help me empower others? How have you come to help me acknowledge the source of all power and potential? Giving thanks to this Chaf, to the Creator, and choosing to believe the light of the letter Lamed is coming into your head, down into your heart. The letter of Limud, learning. Rock, what are you here to teach me? What will you help me teach others? How will you come to reveal that all the learning in my life is from the ultimate teacher above? Giving thanks to the Creator for this Lamed and choosing to believe the light of the letter Mem is coming down through your head and into your heart. The letter of Melucha, leadership. Rock, how have you come to help me lead myself? How have you come to help me lead myself to lead others? How have you come to help reveal the ultimate leadership above that bestows upon any of us its potential for leadership? Giving thanks to the Creator for the Mem and choosing to believe the light of the letter Nun is coming into your head, down into your heart. The light and letter of Netzach, eternity and endurance. Rock, how have you come to reveal my eternal soul and help me endure in revealing it in the world? How have you come to help me acknowledge and see the eternity in others, empower them to persevere? How have you come to help reveal the eternity of the one and only and endure to unify with him forever? Please place a soft fist of your left hand over your heart, right hand over your left, sealing and anchoring, reminding yourself of the memory of awe, playing it again and again, inviting its resonance, energy of Gevura. As these next 7 letters are connected to Gevura, and just choose to believe that you can anchor in these letters and these lights to your rock. Chet, Chaim, life. Tet, Tov, good. Yud, Yichud, oneness. Chaf, Koach, strength. Lamed, Limud, learning. Mem, Melucha, leadership. Nun, Netzach, eternity. Anchoring again into your memory of awe. Giving thanks for this set of letters. And then relaxing your hands at your sides again. You might have your palms upwards if you'd like, ready to receive. As you choose to believe, the light, the letter Samech, is coming into your head, down into your heart. The letter for Sefer, book, rock. How have you come to help me write in my book of life? How have you come to help me help others write in their books? How have you come to help reveal the one author of the true book of life for all? Giving thanks to the Creator, this letter of Samech, choosing to believe the light of letter Ayin is coming into your head, down into your heart. Letter of Anava, humility. Rock, how have you come to humble me? How have you come to help me help others be humbled? True humility being acknowledging our goodness and potential, knowing that it's directly from above, not truly our own. We're only vessels. How have you come to help reveal my humbleness before the King of all kings? Giving thanks, this letter Ayin, and choosing to believe the light of letter Pei is coming in from above through your head and into your heart. The letter of Pe'er, beauty. Rock, how have you come to reveal my inner beauty? How have you come to help reveal the beauty in others? How have you come to help reveal beauty of the one, the source of all beauty? Giving thanks to the Creator, the letter Pei. Choosing to believe the light, the letter Tzadi, is coming into your head, down into your heart. The light letter of Tzedek, righteousness, justification. Rock, how have you come to help me justify the one above and his goodness? How have you come to help me see the righteousness intrinsic in others? How have you come to help me acknowledge the expression of all righteousness is from the one above? Giving thanks to the Creator for the letter Tzadi. Choosing to believe the light of the letter Kuf is coming into your head, down into your heart. The letter of Kedusha, holiness. Rak, how have you come to reveal my intrinsic holiness? Holiness being defined as something unique, distinct, and separate from the whole, the aspect of altruism within us. How have you come to help me see the intrinsic holiness in all people's souls? How have you come to help me acknowledge the holy, holy, holy one above? The ultimate bestower. Giving thanks, the letter Kuf. Thanks to the Creator. Choosing to believe the light, the letter Resh, is coming into your head, down into your heart. The letter of Rina, song. Rock, how have you come to help me sing the song of my soul? How have you come to help me empower others to sing their songs? How have you come to help me acknowledge the infinite song of the heavens that's always playing right here, right now? Giving thanks to the Creator, the letter Resh, choosing to believe the light of the letter Shin is coming into your head, down into your heart. The letter of Shalom, peace. Rock, how have you come to help me reveal my inner peace? How have you come to help me make peace with others? How have you come to help me acknowledge the source of all peace, the King of peace above? Giving thanks to the Creator for the letter Shin, choosing to believe that the light of the letter Tav is coming into your head, down into your heart. Letter of Tehillah, praise. rock? How have you come to help me raise myself and my essence? How have you come to help me sing the praises of others? How have you come to help me sing praise to the source of all? And give thanks to the Creator for this tub and place a light fist of your left hand over your heart, your right over your left, as these last 8 letters are connected to the energy Tiferet of compassion. Remember the memory of compassion again. Shine it upon your rock. Settle into its resonance. As we seal these last 8 letters. Samech, Sefer, book. Ayin, Anava, humility. Pei, air, beauty. Tzadi, tzedek, righteousness. Kuf, kedusha, holiness. Reish, rina, song. Shin, shalom, peace. Tav, tehillah, praise. Remembering again, memory of compassion. And shining it upon your rock. Now prepared to climb up the ladder. You may rest your hands at your sides. Having gone through 22 paths, you've got a little more to go. You guys are doing awesome. Imagine a ladder before you going into the heavens, like Jacob's ladder. But you're already in the garden. I guess it's leading into the heaven of the heavens. And as we go up each sphere on the tree of life, simply choose to believe to shine its lights and qualities upon the rock. And as we go up in each one, simply imagine yourself stepping above again and again, one rung at a time. Starting now, I do recommend, as best as you can, to actually speak out verbally the names of the Sefirot. As the Bala Sulam teaches, that simply saying the names illuminates and impresses upon our soul these energetic bodies. Stepping up to the first rung, Malchut, Malchut, Malchut. The energy of self-leadership, of humility, of controlling what you choose to integrate and choose to deflect. Boundaries, and faith, belief consciousness. Stepping up another rung. Yesod, Yesod, Yesod. Place of connection, peace, holiness. Feeling our mission in the world. And be open to imagine any further shifts in the rock, perhaps a change of imagery as we continue to climb. Perhaps it's fully eroded by now. Anything is possible. Another rung up. Hold, hold, hold. The power of powerlessness. Being able to bend to a will beyond us. A healthy hierarchy of balancing leadership above and being a follower below. One more rung. Netzach, Netzach, Netzach. The power to continue. Endurance, perseverance, motivation, and our overall sense of health. Simply choosing to believe, to connect to this energy and shine it upon the rock. Another rung, you're now halfway up the ladder. Tiferet, Tiferet, Tiferet. Truth, harmony, beauty, balance, Torah. Tiferet is often called the tree of life itself. The middle point of healing where everything comes together. Another rung. Gevura, Gevura, Gevura. Power to control our desires. Healthy boundaries. The ability to say no. The drive, desire to also continue forward. Another rung. Chesed, chesed, chesed. Loving kindness. A love that's expressed ideally from a place of completion, not one of dependency. Another rung. Bina, Bina, Bina. We're getting close to the top. The seat of altruism. Aspect of giving to give. Our deep intuitive prowess. The healthy conclusions and assumptions we come to. Our analytical thinking and left brain. Power of hearing. Another rung. Chokhmah, Chokhmah, Chokhmah. Wisdom. The seat of beliefs and perceptions. The ability to see ourselves in our perfect goodness and therefore see the world at large as such as well. Place of pure holiness and nullification. Surrendering any sense of ego and being engulfed in the oneness of all. Final rung, now at the top of the ladder. Keter, Keter, Keter. the ultimate source of all, his desire to give goodness to his creation, the seat of our essence identity, our unconditional value, pure goodness, and eternity. Our intrinsic purpose and connection already being right here, right now. Recall again in your mind's eye the rock or anything that's left of it. Connect again to the love, awe, and compassion, the memories from before, and shine upon it. See the waters flow, download into your being. Regardless of whatever has happened or will continue to happen, you can be confident and faithful that clearance has been made. In this place of elevation, having made any clearances, even an iota of a spark being taken from the rock, we're in an Ethereal zone, an auspicious time. Take this time, even if 5-10 minutes, and pray, request anything and everything that you need, especially it pertains to the rock that you've mentioned, asking for any further healing and shift that you desire, if it is His will. Take that time now. It's for you. And it's the best thing you can do.